Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Phoning It In. I'm Michael Carvelli, back with another two-man show this week. It's just me and John.
I love it.
It's we were saying before we started recording, like these two-man shows always seem to find a way. I don't want to say off the wall because we're not going to get like super zany or anything like that. But we get it's fun. We typically tend to kind of veer off of what we originally have planned.
That and yeah, I think also, given Nick's impending human he will be responsible for, we need to get better at these.
And we need to get better at this, and like also maybe start to look at guests
again. Yeah.
Understanding that Nick is not going to be around as often.
I feel like early on we were really good at getting guests, and then we kind of just and then we started with Zoom, so it'd be really easy to get guests now, and we haven't done it since.
I think the thing now is that like we have fallen into a bit of I'm going to call it a pandemic rut, and we're going to address that pandemic rut a little bit more later on, but we've fallen into a little bit of a thing where like we've been stuck doing this stuff for like a year, and we're at a point now where like we have this set appointment of we're going to do this once a week where we get on Zoom and talk for the podcast or whatever. But I also think we're getting to a point where we used to have it planned out well in advance.
Right, like we would decide days in advance when we were going to do it. There was a set time. Usually it was on a weekend, not at 9 o'clock on a weeknight. We've gotten a little lax with when we release the pod.
Yeah, so I think if we get better, I think we need to just get onto a more strict, I guess.
Yeah. Regimen.
I don't know, not strict, but whatever. Like a better consistent schedule. That way we can take some time in advance to say, okay, hey, we're doing this on this day. Let's try to find someone who can hang out with us.
I still feel like, though, we're having good shows. I don't think we're having bad shows.
Oh, no, not at all. I'm just saying it's much less. There's much less planning going on.
Yes, that's true.
I think it's good that we're still given this like grade A, great, content.
Right. I mean, we just hit 100,000 downloads last week. Just go with it. Just go with it. No, not for real. Just go with it. Come on. I was trying to, fib our listeners into thinking we're big time. I actually don't know what we're at, though. I haven't looked at our stats.
It's been a while since, once again, we're in a little bit of a rut in terms of keeping housekeeping up.
Nah, man, I'm doing well. I almost died earlier this week, so we can talk a little bit about that. Joking, of course. I didn't almost die.
Is this the thing that I think it's about?
The this?
Yeah, we can talk. Okay, listen. This is two of the four members of the core four of the Phoning It In podcast, as I'm calling us.
The core four, okay.
Yeah, it rhymes. And the two of us have both been vaccinated for COVID-19.
We have been vaccinated.
Yes.
I got the Johnson & Johnson.
You did.
One dose. One and done.
One and done.
No more shots for me. Thank the sweet Lord. And you got which one?
Pfizer. A month ago.
And you've gotten both of them.
Yes, I have actually, as we record this, today is the 2-week mark since my second shot. So I'm like good.
Dude, that means tomorrow you can literally go lick the door entrance handle into like any Dunkin' Donuts and you're good.
I don't think I'm going to do that, but I do think Friday, because I'm off work, I might.
You're going to a McDonald's and licking the toilet seats.
I think Friday I'm going to a movie.
Wow. And that'll be like your first time out in a long time.
In the world, aside from like visiting a family member. It's going to be the first. I went to the first night of the NCAA tournament, the first 4-day. I went to go pick up food and found out that they were no longer doing like curbside pickup. And it was the first time I've been in a restaurant, really. I think that's true.
Were you nervous?
I felt weird.
It's going to be so weird, like going back and sitting at like a bar. Like when you're at like a brewery or something and you cram in because it's jam packed and you're uncomfortably close to these people, but there's still like a foot in between you. But Right. You're like, God, I wish that person was like 3 or 4 feet away. Now if they're not 6 feet away.
Yeah. It's one of the things I can't remember if you were on when I was talking about, because that night I was talking to us we were on the Zoom watching the games and stuff, or I think maybe, I don't know. But I was talking to somebody about the fact that, okay, I'm eventually going to start going to places again now that I've gotten this vaccine, right?
Still wear a mask, of course. Still do follow the CDC stuff.
When I saw people, they were like, they didn't have their food yet or anything. They really weren't even drinking, but they still were just sitting there with their masks off.
Well, yeah, of course.
Is that what you're going to? I feel like for me,
that's not what I'm going to do, but I'm just saying there are people all over the country who are acting like COVID's not a thing and don't wear their masks.
I guess that's crazy. What, like, people are just like, as soon as they step into, like, as soon as they get seated at their table, it's like, okay, we can just take them off now.
Yo, people are dumb, man. There are a lot of stupid people out there. I was on an airplane and there was this guy sitting in first class in the first row who literally just ordered mini bottles the entire time and was just slowly sipping the mini bottles so he could say he was drinking the entire time.
That's interesting.
I mean, like, you got to be special.
Like, I think I'll be going, like, let's say in a few weeks, I start going back to play like trivia with my friends who play at like a local bar. I feel like when I get there, I'll keep the mask on and like, I'll take it off when I drink and then put it back on. And I'll take it off to eat.
Will you feel comfortable being there if they are not wearing their mask?
I mean, as a person who has had both shots and is now at a point where Pfizer's 90-something percent effective, 96% effective, I'll feel fine. Like, you know, I won't be like, I might not be super thrilled about it at first, or it might take some getting used to, I guess. But I've been around people who haven't worn a mask. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make me feel great. It makes me feel better now because I know that
you're a good upstanding person.
And then also when I am also around other people, although I think there have been research, and once again, it's weird because I don't really know a ton. You know, there are people who know more about this than I do, but you know, the whole can someone who has had it or has had the vaccine, I should say.
And now they're saying that some research released yesterday, it's Wednesday today.
Yeah.
Pfizer, Moderna, I believe they said were 90% effective against even carrying.
That's what that's kind of what I wanted to get to was like, can you still carry it and maybe give it to somebody?
Science, man, science is amazing.
That's why I still wear the mask.
Yeah. 100%. There's no reason not to. Plus, especially it's still cold outside, sort of. So, you know,
and stuff.
It's what?
It's raining really bad.
Yeah, it's like going to be 35, but it's supposed to be 60s this weekend.
Yeah. Actually, tomorrow is supposed to maybe snow a little bit.
Let's talk. That sucks. That's horrible.
Yeah.
Let's talk about side effects for a little bit. I think before we talk about side effects, I don't want anyone to think that they shouldn't get this vaccine. Like, I will 100%.
That's why I'm glad we're talking about it because
there's no reason to run away from it.
Yeah.
So second, I will clearly admit that 6 hours into my side effects, I was like hating the world, and we'll get into it, but
go ahead.
Yeah, no, go. What are you going to say?
There was a conversation had,
not with me, not included,
myself and another member of this podcast who is not currently here.
Yep.
That was like, okay.
John's being dramatic.
Okay. We know that side effects are a thing, but this is fast. This is fast.
Dude.
Do you think it's real?
And I could sense that
in his head.
So let me go through this story. So I get home from Austria. What did I get home? Friday or something?
Yeah.
I'm in this Facebook group called Chicago Vaccine Hunters.
Wild.
Fascinating Facebook group.
Insane that that's a thing. But
it shows how fucked up our system is. But anyways, so that I'm like looking, I see the posts and stuff, and I wake up on Sunday morning. I slept like all day on Saturday. I wake up Sunday morning at like 8 a.m. because I was going to bed, and you know this because I was like checking out at like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night. Wasn't even watching the last basketball game.
Right.
Wake up at like 7:30, and I'm on this thing, and I see that there is this. So Illinois was about to open up to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
The city of Chicago wasn't. The city of Chicago gets their own vaccine or something like this. There was this county in southern Illinois that was opening up to any Illinois residents 18 and up. And I was like, wait a second. And these were appointments. So I'm like on my phone, one eye open, like making an appointment. And I got an appointment for Monday morning for Moderna. And then I was like, wait, yeah. And I was like, well, how's this going to work? Because I don't want to drive. This place was about 3 hours away. So 6 hours round trip. I was like, am I going to have to go back down there in 2 weeks? Like, what's this about? Then I kept looking on Facebook, and I found that the same place at a shopping mall in the same county was doing walk-in Johnson & Johnson's on Sunday from 9 to 4 or something. It was 7:30, like I said, about 2.5, 3 hours away.
Yeah.
So I like jump out of bed, and I was like, Mariel, like, or should I, like, she was like making brunch because we were going to have like a lazy morning. And I was like, I feel like I should maybe drive down there and try to get this thing. Like a little sketchy, like walk in, like no appointment. That's a long way to drive.
It's a risk.
It's a risk. But also like I wasn't doing anything. I'd taken Monday and Tuesday off at this point. Ended up being a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
And so I just said, screw it. I'm doing it. Got in my car, drove. Get there, walk into the shopping mall in Vermilion County, Illinois. Danville is the city, the town.
Shout out Danville.
Shout out Danville. Right on the border kind of Indiana and Illinois. Walk into the shopping mall. I was so nervous when I pulled up because I was like, oh, way too many people at the shopping mall. Everyone's here for this vaccine, man. Like everyone's driving down from Chicago. And as I'm going, like I was refreshing the Facebook page to make sure someone didn't like update, like they're out of vaccines or whatever. Walk in, there's like a line of like 30 people. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so nervous. Like what?
Yeah,
they're going to run out.
That's a good sign.
I was like, they're going to run out. I was just convinced like they were going to run out.
I would have taken that. See, when you said 30 people, I got excited because I was like, oh, only 30 people.
Fair point. Maybe it was like 40 people. I don't know. So then as I'm driving there, I realized I don't have an Illinois driver's license because I never got one when I moved here because like the DMV was closed and all this stuff. So I'm like having Mario like text me pictures of like our mortgage statements and stuff with our address on it. So anyways, they hand me this clipboard and they're like, here, fill this out. And I was like, I'm in. I think I'm good. Like they wouldn't give me this clipboard if they don't have any vaccines.
Right.
5 minutes, man. I'm up at the front of the line. They're like logging me in, downloading my stuff for the database, saying we're doing the Johnson & Johnson today. We talked about how I drove from Chicago, all this stuff. 10 minutes later, I get called in. This part's funny. I haven't told you this. I guess when they were checking me in, they wrote my birthday wrong. So when you walk up to get your vaccine, they're like, what's your name and your birthday? And I'm like, my name's John. My birthday is January 8th, 1989. And they're like, oh, we have 59. And the woman's like, but you're not 60. And I was like, nope, I'm not 60 years old. And she's like, yeah, I thought that was funny walking up. I didn't think you were 60 years old. I was really impressed.
You look great. But anyways, you look great for 60.
Yeah. So get the shot. Then I go sit across the room for 15 minutes to make sure I don't die. Drive home. I'm good.
Yeah.
Perfect, man. I was so pumped. It was awesome. Like I was a little nervous. I was like, am I going to start feeling bad? So then,
yeah, you were like texting me. You're like, I don't think I should go home in case like I have a reaction.
I was worried about the allergic reaction.
Yeah, which is like
they hand you all those documents to read, and you're like, you could have an allergic reaction for like an hour. And I was like, well, I don't want to be in the middle. Literally, I drove through cornfields.
I don't want to give anything away, but I did not get any documents to read, which is probably for the best for me.
It probably is. So, so I got home and like so I got the thing at like 1:00. Around like 6:37, I feel like is when I texted you guys and I was like, hey guys, like I kind of got the chills. And I had kind of like told myself at this point, like, maybe I'm just like sick because I'm like overtired. Like this is really quick to be getting any side effects. Like maybe I'm just like envisioning that I have these side effects. Like I agreed with you and Nick. Like I really did. But then, dude, I woke up at 11:15 and I was shaking so bad. Yes.
I have the text.
Read the text.
This was at 10:33 p.m. my time.
Okay. So 9:30 my time. I was probably in bed.
Yeah. Within the last 30 minutes, now have intense as hell body aches and chills. So surreal knowing it's going to happen, knowing you're not sick and it's happening anyways.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Right?
And I would like to find,
And then you and Nick were probably just texting something snarky about me. No, like he's being so dramatic.
We would never say that.
He's being so dramatic. Blah 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 blah.
No, we would never say that.
So I woke up at 11:15. This is an hour and 30 minutes after that.
Okay.
And I was shaking so bad from chills that Mariel had to go sleep in another bed.
Wow.
I woke up. I didn't sleep. I took 2 showers to try to just cool down because I was just so hot. Had a fever. Yeah. Just had a fever, had the chills, was sweating. You can't get comfortable when you're sick and you have these weird dreams. Was taking as much Tylenol as humanly possible, drinking so much water and it wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
When you walk and you can you feel like your brain hit off the side of your head kind of, and it was that for 24 hours, dude. Wow. And then finally on Monday night, I had a fever all day. On Monday night, I went to bed early again, and around midnight I woke up and was sleeping in a pool of sweat. And I woke up and I've never been so happy in my life because I knew I had broken the fever. Yeah. And I instantly felt better. I mean, it was incredible. I was like, I'm good.
Do we think it's because, and this is probably something that's easily figured out by reading about. Do we think that's because it's a one-time thing? That maybe
so I was doing some research, and it looks like the side effects for Johnson & Johnson are worse than Moderna and Pfizer. And they last longer. I read last night that they can last up to 3 days following the shot. Which is about kind of where I was at. So I was
gonna say, I feel like yesterday was the first time we really talked, and you were.
I felt fine. Yeah,
you seemed back. Monday, you were eh, and then yesterday you were.
Monday, I felt like I was Monday, I was bad in the afternoon, maybe up to 60% ish.
Yeah.
And then, yesterday, I felt like I was at 90%. Today, 95% maybe. Definitely feel a lot more normal. Monday, dude, I was just dead all day. It is the worst. At 3 a.m., I literally took a shower and just sat on the floor of the shower for an hour at 3 o'clock in the morning. The worst I've ever felt in my life. So you guys making fun of me, which 100%, man. I thought I had convinced myself that I was being dramatic too.
Did you take your temperature? Did you have a fever?
I had a fever.
Okay.
100% had a fever. Okay. Now I didn't take my temperature all day. But the night sweats, man, the shakes was crazy.
I had convinced myself that I was going to have really bad side effects.
And you were kind of achy for half a day?
Not even. On the second one, not even.
Wow.
The first one, my arm was really sore for it got sore that night. And then the next day.
To move it or to touch it?
To move it. When you have a sore arm. I don't know.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. Flu shot kind of.
Sure. I would say it was a little more sore than a flu shot, but that general feeling. And it was really sore the next day and was less sore, but still, the day after that. And then it was fine. And I don't think I really had any symptoms of any flu-like symptoms basically. But then the second time where I was nervous because, I had 2 other friends who have had Pfizer, and of the people I know, most of my family got Pfizer. None of them had side effects, but I have 2 friends who both had some side effects after shot number 2. So I was worried that I was going to have it, and I was concerned. Friends from work all had Moderna. They all had some side effects, pretty much, at least from what I've heard.
But yeah, everyone who I know, the second shot, Pfizer, Moderna, Mariel included, had the second night or whatever, just kind of hit them hard for 6 hours.
Yeah. My second shot, I was I had nervous stomach ache, if that makes sense. I wasn't sick, but I was just terrified of getting sick.
Right.
And that was when I went to bed, I was nervous. And then I woke up and I was good.
See, that's my point though. It's so weird knowing that you're probably going to feel like shit. Yeah. And it's like if you were to drink bad milk and you're going to get food poisoning. but you do, it's crazy.
Yeah. But I woke up and like my arm wasn't even hurt. Like it was like we talked on Zoom, and it was actually, I ended up getting the second shot like the day after we did the podcast with Michael where we talked about the vaccine a bunch.
Right.
And it was funny to talk about how people shouldn't feel guilty about having the vaccine when I had already had the vaccine. But we're talking, and I think it was when we were watching games on Thursday, which was the day after I got the shot. And you asked me how I was feeling. I was like, yeah, I'm not sore at all. And he's like, oh, you got the second one already. And I was like, yeah, like it's fine. It was weird.
My arm never hurt. I was expecting my arm to hurt, and I'm thankful it didn't, because I was like laying over in bed the entire time. I intentionally got it on my left side because I was afraid it was going to hurt.
I did one in each.
Oh, interesting. Is that what you're supposed to do?
So I'm not sure.
Mixing it up.
Yeah, like so when I went to do the second one, they asked me what shot I had the first arm in.
Oh, interesting.
And I was like, oh, the left. And they're like, okay, do you want it in that one again, or do you want it in the right? And I was like, is there a difference?
What's most effective?
And the person who was giving me the shot was like, well, when I got my second one, I did the same arm, and I like instantly felt it get sore. And I was like, okay, let's do the other one then.
Yeah, let's go right. It up.
And yeah, it was good.
The one more thing I want to say is, in an effort not to freak people out, because I feel like my side effects were bad. Yeah. I also think my side effects could have been worse because I was coming off of a trip where I had gotten zero sleep, like zero sleep.
Yeah.
And my immune system, and I don't know anything about whether that happens, but like if they're putting something into your body that triggers a response and your body is supposed to respond to it, if your body is not like up to speed, right, maybe it takes a little bit longer to respond to it. I don't know, but
that's a good point.
Regardless, get the vaccine. Now I'm like, whatever.
To be kind of not feeling great for like 2 days is a nice trade-off to be able to like, I'm going to get to go and see my grandpa for his birthday tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like that's great.
Man.
That's great.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like when you're like normally sick, you have like the flu and you're like, this sucks. I have the flu. Like this is brutal. I want to like get better. Guess what? This is like you have a very shortened flu and you get something out of it. You never get anything out of being sick.
Right.
But you get something out of this.
I'm going to pivot us away from this talk once again. Okay. In short, in summation, get the shot, people.
Get the fucking vaccine.
Get jabbed.
Get jabbed.
Now, I'm going to pivot us from that. But you mentioned you got back from your trip recently. I think.
Can I say one more thing about the vaccine?
Please.
And then we can pivot. You know what is super cool? And I don't know like where you got your vaccine, if you could see other people do it, but like this was like a vaccine clinic. So like you could kind of watch other people.
I was at the hospital.
People were so genuinely happy to get this thing. I mean, it was amazing.
So basically I went to the hospital. The first day I got it, it was one of those times I was on a standby list and I got a call that was like, hey, 20 minutes.
Like, get in here. Yeah.
Get here. And I got it. And I was literally the last dose of the day. Like I was the last one they had. Then the second time I went like as soon as they started. Actually, I went 2 days early. But I went as soon as they started that day. And there were like 20 people that were in that area of like, they were either waiting like I was to go in, or they're like post-shot talking to each other as they wait the like 10, 15 minutes.
Right. Yeah.
Wait. And it was wild to hear like the way, like it was like so optimistic to hear everybody talking about like how relieved they felt that like,
dude, it was there were people crying as they got it.
It wasn't quite that.
It was dramatic. There were some dramatic people.
I felt great.
It was neat. But anyways, you can pivot now.
Yes, let's pivot. Now you mentioned though, I think the last time we recorded an episode, were you back yet? No.
No, I was in Austria. That was pre-vaccine.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You were still in Austria when we recorded last. So you're back and you're back home for like a while.
Yeah. A few months.
And it's been, you got a few months. You've been working on your home improvement stuff.
Yes.
Getting your Tim the Toolman on downstairs in the
basement. Home Depot tonight.
doing some things. I wanted to bring up the idea of, because we're getting into spring. We're officially in spring.
Tomorrow, April Fool's Day, guys.
That's true. It's the idea of spring cleaning.
Your favorite thing, I imagine.
What do you say it like that for?
I don't know. Pre-show, you were talking about how you didn't want to throw away an old desk. I'm guessing you're not loving spring cleaning.
No, I do love it. This is why I want to bring it up. I'm excited about it. I'm excited to, I don't know, like I try to keep my area clean and stuff like that. But it is nice every now and then to do like a big clean, to do a big throw stuff away, you know, maybe hit the old Facebook marketplace and sell some stuff that you don't want anymore. I actually have a set of like 6 Pilsner glasses.
Oh,
like the tall, you know what I mean? Like the tall glasses that are like, I'm getting rid of them.
What? Are they glass?
Yeah.
Hold on, wait. Don't shoot a picture of them.
I'll send you a picture of them later if you want them.
Yeah.
I hate cleaning them.
Okay.
They're hard to clean.
Okay.
And they're hard. Like even if I put them in the dishwasher, first off, they're so tall that it's hard to like.
Are they like they go up and then they get smaller?
No, they get wider as they go up.
Oh. Yeah, send a picture of those to me, man.
Okay. And they also like barely fit in my cabinets.
I know exactly. Yeah. Send a picture.
And it's like so annoying. And I mostly drink out of my pint glasses and my bourbon glasses and stuff like that anyway. So I'm like, I can probably get rid of these.
Perhaps I can trade you some home brew at some point for them.
Wow.
We'll see. I don't know. Send me a picture of them before you get rid of them. Although you could probably fetch a pretty penny on Facebook. Like a set of glasses, you could probably get like $20-$30 for it.
Yeah, I mean, these are not bad. Yeah. You'll see. They're nice glasses.
But I mean, perhaps
but ultimately,
perhaps a podcast co-host would also pay you for them.
I'll let you know. Now, the point that I'm trying to make is spring cleaning. You get rid of stuff that you don't use sometimes. You straighten things up. A perfect opportunity to do this, especially as we've been in this hellscape of a year for the past year. And I'm just like, there are some things that I'm just like, I want to get rid of some shit. Just get it out, whatever. Maybe those glasses are the thing that have brought bad juju to me. And I just
toss them. Don't even sell them though. Just break them. Go to a dumpster and just break them.
Throw it. Just go to the parking lot and just throw it all. But yeah, I was interested to see how you guys approach that, especially now. I mean, I guess as homeowners, you're still like.
So we just
not that there's not stuff to clean, but you know what I mean.
Well, yeah, I mean, I feel like in terms of throwing stuff away, when we moved to Chicago, we got rid of a ton of stuff, and then we never really acquired stuff because we knew we were going to move. And then when we moved, we got rid of stuff. So we have been acquiring a lot of stuff, but I feel like we still have a lot of organization to do.
I guess that's a good.
I have like, those big plastic bins. Like, I mean, we can do like a quick show and tell here, but like you see these, like this plastic bin here, this like the one that
I see it. I see it's the one plastic bin in this.
Yeah. So I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of those just like within my eyesight right now. And I need to put them somewhere. So it's like that type of stuff, like a little bit of like my tools are kind of like out of control. I kind of need to like spend some time, get all the tools under control. Like that stuff I want to like, and now that I have time, like I'm excited to do it. Like, and also I think spring cleaning. It's like a spring reset almost, right? Like, I have like a list of things. Like I need to get like my air conditioned service. Like I need to figure out, like, I don't know, do I need like a pest control? I feel like homeowners are supposed to have like pest control people. So like rodents and stuff don't get in their houses. I have no idea. Like just like a lot of stuff that I want to, like things I need to just like check off the to-do list. Like I eventually want to get a TV stand for down here. Like I need to like look into that, or because if I don't do it, it's never going to get done. So I think spring reset is how I like to think of it.
I like to call it, let's brand it. Let's brand it in general. Let's brand this spring in general as a spring reset, especially now we've got, you get jabbed, you get the shot, you're able to go back into the world. It's a reset. Spring 2021 reset.
I like that.
Yeah. I've also been like in that mode of like, I kind of just want to like rearrange a bunch of stuff.
When you were little, did you like rearrange your room a lot? Did you like
every now and then?
I feel like I did that.
Never anything big, just cause like,
yeah, just like I want to move the bed against that wall. Like
I never.
I don't. That. Oh really?
Or, so well, I guess I did every now and then.
I feel like
it was never like a me doing it on a whim. It was kind of like a bringing it up to the parents.
Right. Yeah. I feel like it'd always be like, I'd walk downstairs one Saturday, I'd be like, Mom, I want to rearrange my room. And I had drawn up this is like when I was like, 11 or something, drawn up like a diagram of how I wanted to do it. And then she was always like, no, like, you don't need to do that. That doesn't make sense. Translation, doesn't want 11-year-old kid like moving around a bunch of furniture, just like to move around a bunch of furniture.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, John's like, no, I want to do it. And then I usually just did it anyways. And she didn't complain because it was done and she wasn't going to make me move it back. Yeah. Did that a lot though. But anyway, that you said that you want to rearrange some stuff. So I didn't know if that was your thing,
No, maybe I think like figure out some stuff to do with my living room, just, get that moved around a little bit,
So I think another fun way to do it is like, you just get like 2 big trash bags and you're like, I'm filling up these 2 trash bags. These trash bags have to be full. Because you have 2 trash bags worth of shit that can be thrown away. Like, absolutely. You do.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, even if I think another is like getting rid of clothes that you don't wear. Granted, this last year you probably like you haven't gone anywhere. Like, I know I haven't worn like half my clothes. So like usually over the course of a year, if you look back and you're like, I haven't worn that, I haven't worn that, I haven't worn that. Okay, donate it. Right? Mm-hmm. Another good time to do that.
Maybe it's a spring 2021 reset of your wardrobe. Just dump it all, get some new stuff.
That seems like a lot of work, man.
Fall out. Use that stimmy.
Seems like a lot of work. I'll keep wearing the same stuff for year 2.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. It's a weird feeling right now I think I'm ready to do this like reorganizing and all this stuff because I'm just generally feeling more optimistic. It's weird. It's an odd.
Optimism's a weird thing when you've lived in darkness for darkness for a year, but then even like prior to COVID, it's not like things were super great with some of our the things happening around the country, right? So like,
yeah, that's fair.
I feel like but the last year, man, has been dark. So
yeah. The last year was dark.
I also am like, everyone's talking about optimism and it's great. Like, we should all be optimistic. It's also a little worrisome though, looking at some of the COVID numbers now and like a lot of these states like doing rid of the mask mandates and stuff. And I'm just I'm also getting a little nervous about it.
That's the thing. I think it's good to be optimistic. It's great to be, actually. It's great to be optimistic, but it's also like important to keep doing what we're supposed to do and not to get preachy and all that. But yeah, like do what you're supposed to do and hopefully we can all get to hang out soon. Like that's the thing. Like I just want to be around people. That's it.
You know what I just realized? I was looking at the COVID numbers.
For a second, I thought you were frozen and I was like worried.
No, I had to do a double. So the worst day of COVID numbers, the worst day of COVID cases in the United States, according to the New York Times, it was 300,669. One day. January the 8th, 2021, John's birthday. That sucks.
Hey, it never got worse.
It never got worse. That's a good point. I was the turning point.
Yeah, John Terry was the turning point.
Me and my friendless birthday celebration.
Soon.
I can't even remember I just want to see people, man.
I know. It's going to be odd. It's going to be weird. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. Hey, maybe I was telling you our buddy Matt Sunday has also had the vaccine. He will be also good to go soon. You'll be good to go soon. There are direct flights from Chicago to Clarksburg.
There are.
We've talked about planning. Matt and I have talked about planning a little, like one day get wings and go see a movie and hang out. I'll pay for your movie ticket and your wings.
It's not about that. I've been gone for like 7 weeks out of the last 12. So I probably need to stay here for at least the month of April.
Big Mo will be fine with one weekend.
I don't know. When I was gone, she also had to shovel 36 inches of snow.
So. I'll text her and get it to work.
Wait, she could come.
Yeah.
Marlo could come.
I don't feel like having the sniffles. I don't really want to deal with that. Just have a neighbor watch Marlo.
We don't know any neighbors, man.
Hey,
check this out though. This is kind of crazy. Very random. So I'm in this this fantasy baseball league. Mm-hmm. A lot of people I don't know, but there are a couple people in Chicago who like I've met.
Is
through
this the one
league.
I used to dominate?
No. This is one. It's like they're people in West Virginia. Former Mountaineer Troy Clemens is in it.
I was so good in that league.
And then some people from Washington, whatever.
Yeah.
You were horrible in that league.
I was so good in it. I was like the best. I got to it. I was so good that I think I got to the playoffs once. And I say I think because I never looked at it.
You never looked.
After the draft. And I almost won. I almost won the league. And imagine if I looked at it. You guys were lucky.
Fair.
Just saying.
Anyways,
that's how good I am. The power of my fantasy baseball skills.
How crazy is this though? I'm emailing this guy and he's like, hey, like, did you ever move to Chicago? And I was like, yeah, I moved in May, we bought a house, whatever. He's like, where'd you buy a house? I tell him the neighborhood. He's like, oh, no way. We're in that neighborhood too. Like, what are your cross streets? Tell him our cross streets. He lives 2 blocks from us.
No way.
Yeah. Like him and his wife own a house 2 blocks from us.
That's awesome.
How wild is that?
Right there.
Yeah.
They watch Marlo. And him and Big Mo come hang out.
Yeah, we'll see. But no, in all seriousness, like I'm excited to see people at some point.
It's gonna be.
Oh my goodness, it's gonna be great.
You know what's funny? We joked about this before we hit record, but
you didn't do the stopwatch?
No, I've got it. That's what I'm getting to.
Oh, okay.
We're like at the time that we usually wrap up. But this was a thing where it was like, oh, we always like go long on these 2-man shows. But it's good because we only have like a couple things on our list here that we want to get to. And we're at time and we like didn't get to one. So we thought we were going to have not enough to fill a whole show.
You're right. We didn't get to like our main one either. Well, main.
No, I think our main ones were what we talked about.
Okay.
It was just, I wrote them down in a weird order.
Right. That's fair.
But yeah, I don't know. Before I go, let's before I let you go and we can get on with our nights, I will go ahead and just ask. I saw TikTok the other day.
I've been on TikTok a little bit more, by the way.
There we go. It's so much.
I did finally download the app.
You lose so much time.
I don't have an account or anything. I don't think, at least.
Make your account.
I don't really know how to use it, but it's nice because now when you guys send TikToks, it opens the app.
Well, what I will say is you should make an account.
Okay.
Because that's how the algorithm really gets going for you.
Got it. Can you have friends? Like, can I friend you?
You can follow me like you do on anything.
Oh, I have an account.
Yeah, because as I say, when you can use your account and like stuff, and then it takes what you like and shows you more things similar to that.
Got it.
It's nice. But a TikTok I saw the other day brought up the question of these 3 players in not in a game setting, just in a like they're out doing stuff setting. Steph Curry has to make
on TikTok. Sorry,
you're good. Steph Curry has to make 100 straight free throws. Justin Tucker has to make 100 straight 40-yard field goals, or Justin Verlander has to throw 100 straight strikes. Who do you think accomplishes their feat first?
We talked about this, and in full disclosure, I originally said Justin Verlander, but I think it's Steph Curry, and it's probably because I think he's done that before many times.
Yeah, I think
that's easy for him.
I'm torn. Because I wouldn't say it's easy. I wouldn't say it's easy to make 100 straight.
So I'll say this. The thing with Justin Verlander, I'm assuming he's throwing outside, and I'm assuming Justin Tucker is kicking outside.
Yeah.
Wind could affect a strike and a field goal very easily. So he could be pitching fine and wind throws it off.
Yeah.
There ain't no wind inside of a basketball arena, which is why I'd probably get, and I think Steph Curry, like I said, I think he's done that before.
Yeah.
I think the strikes is probably the next easiest in my opinion.
I would agree.
Like Justin Verlander can throw a strike in his sleep, but also 100 strikes, like your arm's getting tired too.
Yeah, I think that's what I think. I think on the surface, the 100 strikes probably sounds the easiest.
Yeah.
Toss. Like you don't have to go and throw 90 some miles an hour. You can,
but you lose focus for like this little bit and it's not a strike. What is it? A basketball hoop, 2 basketballs can fit through the hoop at one time.
Yeah.
You actually have a pretty big margin for error in basketball, and you have a backboard too.
Right. You can get some generous rolls in basketball. So we asked this to the rest of our group chat. I think Cody went Verlander, Curry.
I totally missed this. I must have been sleeping last night.
It was during the UCLA game. I sent it out of.
I was sleeping. I was sleeping.
And I think I would probably go Curry, Verlander, Tucker in that order.
What did Cody do?
He went Verlander first.
And then Curry and Tucker?
Yeah.
And what did Nick do?
He did not. We were watching the UCLA game. I sent it at a very poor time. It was like as the UCLA game was getting good, and I think the game had come back, but I was a little bit delayed from the rest of us. So I was still at a commercial, and I sent it as like the final second.
So Nick never responded?
No.
Well, maybe if Nick's listening to this, he can let us know. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. That's a fascinating one.
How many do you think you could make? How many free throws out of 100 do you think you can make?
I'm sorry, wait. It was free throws, not 3-pointers?
Yeah.
Oh, Steph Curry could probably do that blindfolded.
That's not true, but okay.
Easily Steph Curry. I would argue that I think Steph Curry could make 200 free throws. I would feel more confident in making 200 free throws than the 100 strikes and the 100 field goals.
Wow.
Easily.
In a row.
And I might even up that to 300.
Okay, that's a little too far.
Yeah.
300 straight before Verlander hit 100.
Yeah, definitely the field goals.
I like the realization that you had gone too far sunk into your head there for a second.
A little bit. Yeah, I was like, he's really doubting me. Fascinating. I'm trying to figure out if there's any other. What do you
think is your ceiling of how many you can make in a row? Free throws, since it's so easy.
Like, I think it'd be a miracle if I made 3 or 4 in a row.
Come on.
I haven't shot a basketball since like the West Virginia days, man.
I literally.
Well, that's not true. I shot some. I didn't even shoot that much. Like when I worked at Washington, and I lived next door and I worked next door to the arena.
I've got a basketball hoop like across the street from the complex I live in, and
you go hoop it up.
Well, now that the weather's getting a little nicer, I'm going to try because it used to be a terrible court. Like it was basically like a bunch of gravel and the rims were not great. And over like back in January-ish, I think, they like put down this like nice blacktop and they painted like a free throw line and 3-point lines and stuff like that. It's like a legit outdoor court now. And I'm going to use it a little bit, I think.
Carvelli Court. Just get some spray paint.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, dude. What about you? What do you think?
You're
good at basketball, though. I am not good. You've seen me play basketball. I am not good at basketball.
The only thing I can do is shoot.
Okay.
That's it.
That's like the one thing I can't do.
And even now, like, I haven't shot in forever. I'll try this out and see. I would say I could do in a row. I could maybe rattle off 20.
Okay, that's good, man.
20,
that's good. That's great. That's great.
I feel like in my prime, I could have.
You know what we need in a future March House? A basketball hoop.
Dude, yes.
That'd be pretty sweet. That'd be pretty baller. Even if it was like connected to a
We'll keep an
pool.
eye on just find stuff that has like outdoor basketball hoops.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out if there are any other things, like we mentioned football, baseball, basketball. Are there any other things that like someone could do 100 of? Like, could a soccer player hit a ball off a post 100 times?
I would say maybe even like
a tennis player, could they
100 straight penalty kicks would be like two. You have the element of a keeper.
Keeper, yeah.
And
hitting it off the crossbar is too different.
A certain distance of putt. I don't know what would be a challenging distance of a putt.
I would say probably like a 10-foot putt.
I was gonna say 15.
10 to 15-foot putt. That's tough.
100
Again, the wind could come into
Tiger
play there.
Woods.
Wind could come into play there. I think that's probably easier than field goals, though.
I would probably agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, dude, after 100 field goals, your leg has got to be so tired.
Especially 40 yards out.
Yeah, your leg is dead after that's like tough. 30 of them.
I would maybe give Tucker. How close would it have to be for you to give Tucker the nod, like the advantage?
Man, probably 25 yards.
You think 25?
Yeah, I mean, it'd have to be like, close to an extra point, I think.
Yeah.
Like, just based on the sheer number, because by the 100th kick, man, your leg's falling off. Like, it's
a lot. It's a lot. But yeah, I don't know. I wanted to just bring that up real quick, not talk about it a ton. But yeah,
Marlo's ready for this podcast.
Marlo's ready for the show to be over. I say we wrap this thing up and get going for the night. Thanks everybody for listening. Check out the show on whatever app that you listen to podcasts on. Check us out on YouTube. John, where can they find us on the socials?
Sorry, he's moving the mic. I'm looking it up. I'm
It's Phoning It In Pod.
I'm looking at it. Phoning It In Pod.
Twitter and Instagram.
phoninginpodcast@gmail.com, and you can leave us a voicemail at 304-627-1889.
Yep. And as always, a shout out to Miguel Silva-Leon for our theme song. Check out Saving Miles Lemon on Spotify or Apple Music. And with that, that's all we have for you guys this week. Thanks so much for listening. We'll see you next time.